I'm still not gonna lie. I'm in a bad mood, and I have a rant of things to share.
What about Jar Jar?
You know what? I'm just gonna go with it, dude. We're gonna start just like this. You know what? Here's the thing, dude. I'm having not a good time tonight. First off, okay, it was my own doing because I didn't eat all day. Well, actually, that's not true. I ate 6 Oreos earlier, but regardless, that's not good nutrition. That's not gonna sustain me. So I'm hungry, and then my family doesn't eat until freaking late as it is. So it comes to 8 o'clock, and we eat, and I'm already annoyed. I don't even know why. I'm just kind of grumpy, and we eat at 8 o'clock at night, and I'm freaking starving. Food was good, but my mom made what was it? She made mac and cheese, and I'm like, oh. It's not the main thing, but it's a side dish. I'm like, all right, this is going to be good. So I start eating it, and I'm like, this doesn't taste good. Like, I'm not gonna like insult my mom's cooking, but I'm like, hey mom, what recipe did you use? And here's my problem with every single thing that we have had from Joanna Gaines. All right, you know how there's that fad recipe stuff with Chip and Jo or whatever? You know what I'm talking about?
I honestly don't.
Okay, well, there's this HGTV like couple that goes around. They like remodel homes. They have their own thing in Magnolia, Texas. They have all this Magnolia brand. Hey, that makes perfectly sense. Perfect sense. Magnolia bland, right? It sucks. Everything that we've had, and here, my sister's obsessed with them. Okay. And she just wants to cook everything from her cookbook. So my mom got her cookbook because she's a wonderful mother and awesome. But here's a shout out to Joanna Gaines, right? I want to say something. I think your recipes suck. They are the blandest meals that I've had in a while. Cornbread sucks. Mac and cheese sucks. It would not please a person with no taste buds. I know because I feel like I don't have any when I eat it. Do I feel satiated? No, I feel sensory deprived. It's like you take a normal mac and cheese, which is normally delicious, right? You take it, and it's like, this is really good flavor, right? I'm going to take that flavor and just dilute it with 75% nothingness, and then just have this 25% residual flavor. It freaking sucks. And to cap it off, right, we have this food, and the rest of the food, I can't complain about it. It was like this pork tenderloin type of thing. So tender, so good. It was amazing. But I'm just salty about the mac and cheese. And then I get up, and I'm like, all right, whatever. We're done eating. I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to start editing the last episode, our filler episode, right? I start heading downstairs, and I step in water. And a wet sock is something that irritates the ever-living heck out of me. So I'm set off. And then I'm like, all right, still not going good. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to edit this episode. It's fine. We're all good. And I download... Well, okay, so the MP3 converter, that you sent me on Windows Store, that expired my free trial. So I can't use that anymore. So I'm like, all right, I need to find another one. So I search, and I find one by Wondershare. So, new company shout out, right? You suck. Because it says it's a free download, right? So I download it. I'm like, awesome, I can convert things. And then it's like, oh, no, you need a subscription. And I'm like, that is not free. That is not free. It's a free download, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't cost me anything to click the freaking button, but you're still trying to get my money, so screw you. And then the 12th episode has Jar Jar in it. So, everything, dude.
Jacob, do you want some good news?
Yes, I do. I desperately need good news.
Our latest episode that is uploaded right now has 112 downloads.
Okay, that is good news. Whatever. I'm still salty. It doesn't outweigh it. Whatever. You know what? Screw it. Let's get on with it. Now I got that out of my system, as well as like 80% of my energy. Let's go with it.
Hello there.
Hey, I'm Jacob.
And I'm Evan.
All topics presented in this podcast are highly likely to contain spoilers.
We tell you this as a courtesy to you, the listener, so that we may not ruin any movies or shows for you.
Thank you for listening.
This has been your spoiler warning.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Your In Depth. Today we are covering Star Wars Clone Wars Season 1, Episodes 11 and 12. With me here is, of course, Jacob.
Hello.
And unfortunately, Bud is not joining us tonight as he is, entering a new part of his life and he's got some stuff he's got to take care of there.
Yeah.
So, Jacob, you've been having a rough day.
Yep.
It's okay, buddy.
I've got the audio recording of what's going on. I realized as soon as you're like, I've got here with me Jacob, and I felt the impact of that energy drain. I'm just like, hey. Dude, honestly though, I think that there's no better, so I would argue, because I don't think that you should I don't think that you should let the sun go down with anger in your heart. That is literally a scripture that I go by, but there is no better, like melatonin has nothing on anger, dude. It drains you. And I'm just anyway, whatever. Let's just yeah. So episodes 11 and 12. I will probably relive a little bit of that anger with episode 12. But first, let's go with episode 11.
Before we kick into episode 11, do we have any Star Wars updates, anything that you found?
That's kind of your area, dude. I haven't seen anything. I've seen some Marvel stuff, but we're not to that part yet. So
yeah.
But no, nothing really Star Wars related.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't seen really anything new Star Wars related either. So
I don't know how new it is, but my mother and sister told me today that Mandalorian Season 2 is set for October. I don't know when that was decided or if that was just recently now, like, oh, hey, by the way, now it's definitely this. I don't know.
I think they first released that a month or so ago.
They probably did, but
yeah, it's set for October.
Yeah, that was news for me, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So getting into episode 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
Episode 11. Right. It's
episode
titled
11. Dooku captured.
Yes.
Sorry, I totally forgot from my bad.
It's cool. The summary for it says, during their own attempt to kidnap Count Dooku, Anakin and Obi-Wan discover that the Sith Lord has already been captured by pirates. And this is when we introduce my favorite character, Jack Sparrow. And he comes in. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But anyway, yeah, do you have the quote? The quote?
I do have the quote, yeah.
Cool.
So the quote, that intro schmajigger is my new word for the day. Is the winding path to peace is always a worthy one, regardless of how many turns it takes.
Yes.
In other words, life's gonna fuck you up. You just gotta keep living, man.
Yeah,
you hear that, Jacob? You just gotta keep living, man.
Yeah, I'm on a windy road, dude, right now. Just with the emotions.
I don't think there could have been a better quote for you for this one, Jacob.
I yeah. You're right. Oh man, all right. So yeah, the Jedi have located Count Dooku, right? Anakin had a fight with him, I guess. I don't know. It was in the pre-thing, and now Anakin's missing. So he's been captured, and we kind of enter in Obi-Wan trying to free him, right? He's going through the cells trying to find him, and he opens it up. There's two dudes sitting there, and he's like, "No need to get up. I'm not here for you." And then he just closes the door back up. Then he runs into Anakin.
Yeah, when he gets into that, Anakin's cell, I did note that, Anakin's, hiding in the corner and, goes to jump attack him.
Yeah. Before
he realizes that it's actually Obi-Wan.
Yeah, yep.
Which I thought that was kind of funny.
And I think it was funny how they were talking about Jedi Masters, and I don't recall exactly what they were saying, but he was something like a Jedi Master would never get caught, or I don't know, something like that, but then Obi-Wan just goes, well, you're a master at getting caught.
Yeah, because we find out that Anakin got captured on purpose.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
because
like you say, he makes a comment of like, "How am I supposed to become a Jedi Master if a Jedi Master doesn't get caught?"
That's it. Yep. And then he's like, "Well, you're a master
Something
at
like
getting
that,
caught."
yeah.
Yeah. But just kind of a funny, comment, just the lighthearted kind of interaction between them. Not the "You are my brother, Anakin," whatever. Not that crap, but the the high points of their relationship.
Yeah.
Anyway, though,
I did have in my notes, Anakin complains, Obi-Wan sassy.
yeah. So Dooku escapes for then, just that area. He doesn't necessarily escape, but they don't get him quite yet.
Yeah, but I did note that Dooku wasn't surprised that like Obi-Wan showed up with Anakin.
No, like he was chill. He's just like, "Oh, you guys are here."
Yeah.
Like he expected it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. But as you said, Dooku escapes or flees, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not really escapes, but he's fleeing. And then we see the Jedi cruiser show up. And I noted, or I wrote down the exact quote because it cracked me up. Ahsoka says, "Let's not try to blow up the ship before they get off this time." It just makes me think, like, how many times in the past, Ahsoka, have you blown up a ship with your master on it?
Yeah.
What is going on here?
Yeah, I didn't catch that one. That's funny though. So I got a question for you, right? They're talking about Count Dooku, and they refer to him as the Distinguished Count, right? Count's a position title kind of thing, an hierarchy.
Yep.
It's part of that. What exactly is he the Count of? Is it the Separatists? Or like, is what?
Yeah, so Count Dooku is basically the Chancellor of the Separatists.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess like the face Chancellor, but as we know, Palpatine's in charge of the Republic and the Separatists.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I kind of figured it's probably something like that. I just had that question, but yeah.
Yeah.
So here was the other thing. So Dooku ends up encountering. Okay, so they take off. They fight a little bit. I think they crash onto that planet.
Yeah.
And.
You're kind of jumping ahead there a little bit.
Am I, dude? I don't touch every single second of the episode. Yeah, the sky.
I do.
The sky was green in this episode, and it was at 1 minute and 2 seconds that we saw a bird fly by. And
absolutely. So to catch up to where you are at now.
Oh yeah.
Dooku has fled. He goes down that looks like an air vent thing, and Anakin follows.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan kind of goes on a different path to get to the hangar to cut Dooku off. Dooku gets in one of those ships to escape. Anakin and Obi-Wan take a ship in pursuit. Let's see. But as they're on their way to the ship, I did note that Obi-Wan shows again more of his like defensive side. Because like a droid's shooting at him, but instead of just cutting it down because it's like right in front of him, he simply just like deflects one of its like bolt back at it instead of actually like going on the offensive and cutting it down. He just kind of does a little defensive thing.
Oh yeah.
But then they're in the hangar. They get in the ship. Then they barely get out of the hangar because I think the hangar doors were closing on the ship, and they barely got out. And so obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan are going after Dooku in the ship, and Obi-Wan gets on his like comm thing and calls for Ahsoka to send backup. And she tells him, well, we can't get guys to you right now, but we'll get them here as soon as we can. So they're just kind of like on their own.
Okay.
Dooku's ship is damaged by Obi-Wan.
Yeah. Yep.
Jedi ship is damaged by vulture droids. So both ships are damaged. They're gonna crash. Obviously, they're gonna presumably crash. Work hard. Hurts your brain.
I think you just made a reference to something that I understood. Have you listened to stand-up comedy recently?
I have not.
Well, there was a Daniel Tosh bit that says
Oh,
something
God.
similar to that, and I guess I've said it before, but I just it was funny that you said that. But regardless,
So let's see, where are we at? The Jedi ship gets damaged by the Vulture droid, but it's not too serious. But you know, it's smoking a little bit. This is when Obi-Wan makes that like sarcastic remark about, you know, Anakin's flying and how Anakin's supposed to be like this great pilot, and Anakin like retorts back with, you know, like, well, it's not my fault. The ships aren't that good, you know, like something like that.
oh yeah, basically,
Like, yeah,
basically it was the lag.
yeah. And then Anakin retorts back as well, like something along the lines of like, well, maybe if your shooting was better, we wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
But then we see the Jedi land on the planet, and they find Dooku's ship, and they see the Dooku put a homing beacon on it to you know, get the Separatists there to pick him up.
Yep.
And Anakin destroys a homing beacon, and they are then now on I think it's a moon. I didn't write down the actual name of it though.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
But you know, they're looking after Dooku, trying to find him, and Dooku encounters some pirates, right?
I don't think it's quite yet the pirates.
Okay, but we're not touching on every single second of it. We're not walking the audience through the episode.
Jake Bum, you're missing a good chunk. That's
How
the
much?
end of the episode.
That's not
is
the end of the
pirates.
episode, is it?
Yes, it is.
Okay, they're walking through. Okay, I realize I have like maybe a paragraph of notes, but I still think that I have. I mean, like, I'm blanking. All right.
You are forgetting the whole part where Anakin and Obi-Wan go into the cave.
I thought that was after that. That doesn't make sense now that I'm saying it aloud, but yeah. All right, go back to the friggin' cave where we see like Cookie Monster or something. I don't know.
So the Jedi go into the cave that they sense Dooku is in, and Obi-Wan makes the comment that he senses there are life forms in that cave. Then I can't remember if Dooku uses the Force to make like the cave kind of collapse a little bit, or if it just kind of collapses on its own. But the cave does collapse, and Anakin uses the Force to shield himself from the rocks, while Obi-Wan just dives out of the way. And then we see Dooku find Anakin's lightsaber just kind of laying on the ground, and he takes it basically as his prize.
Yep, that would be now the third time up to date that Anakin goes without his lightsaber due to losing it.
Yeah, he's not very good about holding on to that damn thing.
He really is not.
Don't worry, there's plenty more in the next other 7 seasons. Plenty more instances.
Yeah, I figure.
And so Dooku has Anakin's lightsaber. I'm sorry, I was incorrect, Jacob. The pirates part was not the end of the episode. You are correct. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Good. Say that again. Oh wait, never mind. I have it on recording.
But I guess I was thinking I think a major event that happens in this episode is Anakin not having his lightsaber.
Yeah.
So I was like, Dooku definitely has that. That's further on. Sorry, I apologize. This is the last we see of Dooku in this episode, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that no, because we end up seeing him at the pirates.
Right. There is so much to this episode. Jeez.
Yeah, and we don't have to cover it all.
I'm just hitting the major points to go along the episode.
Everything is a major point to you, Evan. You love Star Wars.
We've been recording for 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 10 too long. I need sleep. I'm angry, energy deprived. Just be thankful. So a while ago, a buddy and I were playing Super Mario Maker on the YouTube channel, and I was in this mood right now that I was back then. I was upset, right? And I think that you should be thanking me, because in that, what I did was I just turned it all at him. I was so mean to him. and I'm okay, I would say thank me for that, but in the end, thank Jar Jar, because that's where it all goes. Right? Every life frustration, just Jar Jar's my outlet. He's a stupid person. What?
What days do you have off this week? Do you have this weekend off?
Yes. Why?
We are going to stop recording.
No.
And
No. I want to talk. Yes. No.
Nope.
No.
We're going to stop recording because you're in a pissy mood.
I am, but sometimes no.
We will record
Evan,
this weekend.
No.
Yes.
No, because this can be decent content, okay? I'll roll with it. I'll make myself, you know what? Tell you what. I'm going to go I'm going to go get a root beer. It'll make me feel better. I'll be back. Okay? How about that? Just intermission, okay? I apologize.
Okay.
Just know that if on my way up I step in water, I'm going to lose it.
If you step in water on your way up and come back pissed off still, we're recording this weekend and we're done tonight.
I will agree with that.
Just so you know.
I will agree with that. Okay, because I will be beyond mad if that happens. Be right back. Actually, I'm going to write down the time super quick. 23:45. Break. BRB.
Oh, man. Sweet home Alabama.
I'm back.
Coming home to you. Oh.
All right. Yeah.
Definitely was not singing that whole time. Nope. Definitely was not.
Well, I'm going to keep that then. But here's the thing. Do me a favor.
I don't know why you would keep that. I wasn't singing.
Oh, right. Sorry. Evan, do me a favor, okay? Listen, I've got my root beer. I'm good, I think.
Yes.
But I have a little bit of resentment still in me. And so to really top it off and to really cure me, send me a picture of Evie.
Okay. Jacob. Hi there, you little shit. Smile for the camera. Deco. Yeah, I'm talking to you. You wanna fight? What? I yell at my cat.
Oh, dude, she's getting big.
That's what she said. Got him.
I just said she's getting big. What do you even... Alright, well, your cat is getting big, and I love her all the more. Man, she's grown up a little bit since I last saw her.
She's so fluffy.
She is, and man, I love that cat. Alright, well, regardless.
Well, just so you know, when I'm back for your wedding that week, I'm bringing her with me because there's going to be no one here to look after her otherwise.
It's okay. If you keep her entrapped in the dryer, she won't need watch after. I'm kidding. Okay, I will love seeing her, and also maybe like seeing you. Let's resume. Okay. I am in a better mood. I'm not. I'm in an operational, I can function mood. Let's just say that. At least for episode 11. Let's go. So, go ahead. I don't remember where we were. The cave. I think the cave.
Yeah, so Dooku has Anakin's lightsaber. At this point, we saw the rocks fall down onto Anakin. We saw him try to use the Force to stop them. We don't know his fate as of this episode.
No. We not
obviously,
yet.
if you've seen the actual movies, you know his fate. But as of this episode, if you're watching like along with the podcast, we don't know his fate.
Not yet.
Yeah. So
Oh
we
wait, no,
see-
this episode. You are correct. Sorry, I think.
Yeah.
I think.
So we see Dooku go outside the cave. He has Anakin's lightsaber. He has his own lightsaber, obviously. And this is when he sees the pirates that you were talking about.
Yes. And
This is when we're first introduced to Hondo, the leader of the pirates.
And I have a really interesting note about him coming up.
Yes.
But not yet. Not yet. I'll save it till next episode of the show, not the podcast. But my note though was the creatures that Dooku encountered. I don't know what they're called, but remember in Attack of the Clones, right, where that one lady, the bounty hunter, was shot in the neck with a Camino saber dart by Jango Fett. Remember what she looked like as she was dying? It like turned brown, and she was like, and like whatever. That's what these things look like.
I can confirm that they are not the same race though, because she was a changeling.
No, I know. I did not think that they were the same race. It looks the same to me, at least.
You saying that, Jacob, actually reminded me.
Yeah.
In Attack of the Clones, you see a brief, I don't want to call it a cameo because it's not really a cameo, but you see a brief, like, the back of Aura Singh, which is a bounty hunter that we get introduced to, I believe, in Season 2 of the Clone Wars TV show.
Oh, neat.
You talk about bounty hunters. For some reason, that clicked in my head. But she actually, like, you see, like, just, I think it's just her back in Attack of the Clones. Anyways, back to the episode.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
So Dooku goes out of the cave and finds the pirates. Let me just look here to make sure I don't jump ahead.
Oh, no, you figure out their fate in this episode. I just realized. I keep bouncing back for not knowing. I don't remember, but yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't go out of order. Like, it's not like a big jump out of order, but so after Dooku sees the pirates, it jumps back to Anakin using the Force to push the rocks off of him, and he gets out. We see Obi-Wan come walking over. We like, yay, they're alive.
Yep.
Woo!
But then
Obi-Wan jokes about Anakin losing his lightsaber again.
Yeah, I get it.
Which is kind of funny because right after he does that, we see his lightsaber is damaged, and Anakin's like, it's kind of like, might not have mine, but yours doesn't seem to be working either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Just kind of this passive aggressive, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it cracked me up because Obi-Wan makes a comment about his lightsaber. He says something along the lines like, this silly old thing was just working a second ago. Like, oh yeah, my willy-nilly, whatever, blah, 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 whatever lightsaber. Like, just like it's an everyday thing for everybody. It was working a second ago.
Yeah.
But this is when we get introduced to a Gundark.
Yep.
Big old, nasty old, big old hunk old, big old thingamajiggables.
Yeah.
Nasty old thing.
The thing that looks like a, one of those, like, basically a Furby mated with a Rancor.
Furby.
Uh-huh.
Oh, God.
What?
A Furby, huh?
It looks like one
That's what you went to?
Yeah, no, but not just a Furby, okay? A Furby mixed with a Rancor.
Oh, boy.
Maybe mixed with with Dex, Obi-Wan's friend from Attack of the Clones.
Out of all of the things you could have said mixed with a Rancor, you went with a Furby, Jacob.
I did. I don't see the problem here.
Anyways.
Right.
So, Anakin is distracting the Gundark while Obi-Wan is, tinkering with his lightsaber, trying to, get it working again.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of jumps over to Dooku again, being questioned by Hondo, like, who he is, what he's doing there. Honestly, really, that's it. They're just trying to figure out who Dooku is and what he's doing. Honestly, that's what they're there for, or what they're asking him. But then Dooku informs Hondo that he's part of the Separatists, and if they returned him, or if they gave him safe passage and was able to get contact with the Separatists, they'd be paid handsomely.
Mm-hmm.
And so they negotiate a fee. They strike a bargain, as we see in the episode, and then Dooku, boards their ship and they leave, and they actually tell Hondo actually tells us that they're going to the planet Florum. Which I do want to say at this point, just remember the planet of Florum, because we will be revisiting that in later seasons. Once or twice we'll be revisiting the planet of Florum.
Interesting.
Yeah,
that sounds like bile that is exploded out of your mouth during vomit. Florum. It's like whatever. It just sounds like a mucus.
And I will say this, for those that have seen the Clone Wars already, maybe not Rebels, and because personally I like Hondo, he cracks me up every time I see him in an episode. You will see Hondo appear in Rebels a couple different times. It's like you don't only just see him in the Clone Wars, you will see him in Rebels. I think 2 or 3 times is all, but you do see him in there.
Okay. I'm very happy about that, and I will share why here after a bit.
So yeah, it jumps back to to Anakin and Obi-Wan. In my notes, I have the Gundark's beating Anakin. It's just kind of like tossing him around willy-nilly.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Anakin doesn't have his lightsaber. He can't really fight back. He's just kind of like being a big punching bag for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, both Obi-Wan and Anakin use the Force and push the Gundark back. And I can't remember if it hits its head off a rock, or if a rock comes down and hits it, but he gets knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think at this point, one of them makes the comment, after they've beaten the Gundark, that they thought they could only find Gundarks on the planet, the moon that they're on. I'm pretty sure it's a moon.
So it's unique to that.
Yeah. I can't believe I did not write down the name of the moon that they're on. I'm kind of kicking myself for that right now. And one of them, I think it's Obi-Wan, makes a comment that it must have been the mother of all Gundarks, because it's like the biggest Gundark that anybody's ever seen. But yeah, so as I said, they knock the Gundark out. They make those comments, and then it jumps back to Dooku landing on Florum. And we see that Hondo's actually basically pickpocketed Dooku and has his lightsaber.
Yeah. Hey,
and
really
Anakin's
quick.
lightsaber.
Hey, pause. So Gundarks,
Yeah.
according to Wikipedia. Also, again, every single time, love that name. But Gundarks were large, fearsome, predatory animals from Vancor.
Vancor.
Vancor, once again, just explaining that a little bit. It's in the Outer Rim territories. It's part of the Vancor system. It's a crystalline planet located there. It's the homeworld of the Gundark species. During the Clone Wars, the Confederacy of Independent Systems established a listening post on this world. So it's
it is a world and not a moon.
Correct.
Okay. That's my bad. I thought it was a moon. Confirmed per Jacob using Wikipedia. Planet.
Yes. And there's a big old thing of history there, but we won't get into that. But yes.
Yeah.
So.
And this real quick, since you mentioned the history of it, as you guys are listening, I think Jacob, you would probably like to do it as well. I'm assuming here. If the audience wants it, maybe we could do a special episode at some point, covering some of the wildlife that we see throughout the
Ooh.
Star Wars TV shows and movies.
I like that
Maybe
idea.
we could do like a special episode, just kind of giving a little more detail about some of the wildlife that we see.
Yeah, like not walking through any piece of canon, but rather explaining some about certain aspects of it.
Yeah, so
Okay.
if you guys as listeners would like that, definitely comment in the comment on these episodes and let us know so we can get some research on that, because I think that'd be pretty fun personally.
Yeah, I think so too.
So back to the episode. The Hondo is now taking Dooku prisoner, and then it cuts back to Anakin and Obi-Wan. And I just want to say these two episodes cut back and forth to different characters a lot. So I do apologize if it's kind of hard to follow us in these two episodes because of that. But there's a lot of jumping back and forth.
Yes, but ideally the listener would have already seen this episode.
Yeah. That's true, yeah. Solid point.
But, if you're having trouble following, we apologize, but it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's just how the episodes are going for these two episodes for some reason.
Yep.
So we're back to Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yep.
They start using the Force to move the rocks out of the way of the entrance of the cave so they can get out. But then some gas starts filling the cave.
Mm-hmm.
And we see Anakin and Obi-Wan getting very weak, very fast.
Yeah, it was really quick.
No time at all for them to go down from the gas.
Yeah.
And right as they're about to pass out, Ahsoka shows up, and some of the clones, blast the rocks out of the way, and it cracked me up here because Ahsoka makes kind of like a claim that she saved them both. She deserves the credit for saving them, and obviously Anakin and Obi-Wan being a Jedi Knight and a Jedi Master, just like we had it under control. You didn't.
Yeah.
We had everything covered. You didn't save us. No.
Yeah.
No, Ahsoka. No. And then this is our last glimpse of the Gundark of this episode. It jumps up and is about to come out of the cave, and the clones blast the cave entrance and collapse the entrance, leaving the Gundark inside.
Yep.
It then jumps all the way over to Coruscant.
Gosh.
And, yeah. And we see Chancellor Palpatine, and I believe Yoda and Mace Windu, Senator Amidala. Our favorite, I'm not being sarcastic here whatsoever, character Jar Jar Binks.
Don't even.
And we see Hondo, telling them that I've captured Count Dooku and I'm willing to sell him to you for 1 million credits worth of spice. I think we covered spice in a previous episode. Spice is what, just to reiterate in case we didn't, in the Star Wars universe, spice is what they use for medical supplies, for alcohol, for basically like seasoning on food, for illegal drugs. Like spice is basically their narcotics, more or less.
Okay.
Like whether it's medicine, alcohol, drugs, even just something as simple as seasoning for food. It's all just kind of categorized into spice.
Yep. Okay.
Which 1 million credits in the Star Wars universe it's 1 million credits. It's a lot of money, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it converts to like U.S. dollars or the euro or.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
Like currencies we have here on Earth, but like across in our countries and whatnot. But regardless, it's a lot of money.
Yep.
And understandably for them getting Count Dooku,
Oh yeah.
And of course, the Republic's very hesitant about it because, as I said, that's a lot of money. They don't know if Hondo's just lying to them and trying to trick them.
Yeah.
And Hondo does pull out Count Dooku's lightsaber and ignites it.
Yeah, it shows
And
them
they
being
recognize
like, I got
it. Yeah, they recognize that it's Count Dooku's lightsaber. But, again, it's just his lightsaber. It's not actually Count Dooku.
Well, I mean, they showed they showed Count Dooku, but then the Chancellor was like, holograms can be faked, though. And then he showed him, kind of like trying to be a confirmation. But either way, it's like you don't truly know, so there's still skepticism.
Yeah, it's kind of like, when someone, I would almost say like blackmail, when someone like photoshops a picture, is kind of like what the Chancellor's kind of getting at, like, how do we know you didn't Photoshop this? Or, how do we know you're not tricking us?
Yeah.
And, Padme makes a suggestion that, Anakin and Obi-Wan are already close to Florum as it is. They're already in the area. They could go confirm this Count Dooku and, report back to the Republic for confirmation.
Yeah.
And so, then we see Anakin and Obi-Wan arriving on Florum. They kind of speak with Hondo a little bit to, get proof that it's actually Count Dooku.
Mm-hmm.
Before they actually see Count Dooku, Anakin sees that Hondo's little rat thingamajigger thing.
The same goofy little thing, like type thing that Jabba has.
Yeah. He sees that thing's playing with his lightsaber.
Yeah.
And he uses the Force to get his lightsaber back, but all the guns then get pointed at Anakin. And Obi-Wan's, again, there's a reason he's the negotiator. His nickname's the negotiator. He's like, Anakin, just leave it. We're a little outgunned right now. Let's do this peacefully. Let's not try and aggravate them.
Yeah.
So obviously Anakin just gives his lightsaber back to them. They then confirm that, it's Count Dooku. And it cracks me up every time I see Anakin and or Obi-Wan interact with Count Dooku, because they're just trading insults back and forth over and over again.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yep.
And so, they've confirmed this Count Dooku. They report back to the Republic saying, yeah, it's Count Dooku. They have him. Go ahead and send the spice.
Mm-hmm.
So, Chancellor Palpatine sends the spice. And then Hondo, as a pirate, as all pirates are, is still trying to look for more profit.
Yep.
And he tries to trick the Anakin Obi-Wan, like, hey, we'll throw you a banquet as, a gesture of good faith to our new allies.
Yeah.
And as we see during this quote-unquote banquet, they try to drug Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
And we see Anakin and Obi-Wan do a little, like, Force thing where they switch the cups with two other pirates.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just pans out as they both take a drink and the pirates just fall over.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Which cracked me up.
Yeah, man, there's the end of... Well, I mean, they might say some stuff. No, they don't. Not after the people drop. It's that's the end.
They don't even... There's not even, like, a closing line to it. It just ends it right there.
Yeah.
Which, personally, I thought that was a really kind of an odd place to end the episode.
Yeah.
Granted, the next episode picks up right where this one left off, but I still thought it was kind of odd.
Yeah.
That they ended it there.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, and this time, so that's the end of that episode. Now, this time I can tell you, we don't have any discussion from Gage, as he's not on this episode. We hope that he can be joining again soon. But I also have not looked up any Star Wars jokes, because that was a trend I started to try, and I was just like, I think it's stupid, so I'm done. So nothing there preventing us from entering the next episode.
I would like to say, before we get into the next episode,
yeah,
it's at these points where where Gage or Bud is not recording with us, that we would really like to see some of your guys' questions that we could answer.
Yeah.
So just again, I would like to reinforce, if you guys any questions you have, please let us know. So we can do any research that needs to be done, so we can answer during our next recording. Because again, this is for you guys. I'm sure we enjoy talking about it, but really this is for you guys that want to listen.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, again with the, the whole, like, we really enjoy, like, this is for you guys. We enjoy it a ton, but we really want to put it out there for anybody who, other people too enjoy. But with that, we want to give back to you guys even in more ways. So if you, can leave us a rating, a review, comment on various things. This is linked to a YouTube channel. If you are seeing it on that, the comment section is very easy.
Yeah.
Podbean has comments as well. I
Along
don't.
with Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts.
Yeah, those definitely, leave reviews and stuff. We have milestones that we set to where it's like every 1,000 downloads we'll release a blooper reel, which we have a lot of options to include in that. And and then every 100 reviews we'll do a live stream. So there's things that we want to give back to you guys for, but that requires those things being met. So please leave reviews, continue watching, share with your friends, all that stuff to get us, just to get those downloads, to get those rewards.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, is there anything else you have before we jump back in?
No, that's all I had in that kind of little intermission.
All right.
So, Season 1, Episode 12 is titled The Gungan General. Dear Lord God, help us.
Yes, and this is what... So, I did not look at the titles of these episodes before starting tonight's viewing. So, I watched Episode 11, and I'll be honest, slight raise in blood pressure when I saw Jar Jar in that Senate scene, or in that Coruscant scene. But I'm like, whatever, okay? These are my exact notes. So first I say Episode 12, The Gungan General. Then, here's the summary, right? While negotiating Count Dooku's ransom, Anakin and Obi-Wan are taken prisoner. The Jedi and Sith form an unlikely alliance in a bid to escape, with Jar Jar Binks as their only hope. Great! Gungans. Because it's not just Jar Jar. I really don't care much for Boss Nass, and I just don't like Gungans. But, yeah.
I have to agree. Honestly, Gungans are not... I don't care for them personally.
Right. So, do you have the quote for this time?
Indeed I do.
Okay.
So the quote for this episode is, fail with honor rather than succeed with pride.
I did not write that correctly, but...
I would just like to say, on that quote, really, it's just more or less saying, like, even if you're not going to accomplish your goal, it's better to be honorable about it than, taking the easy way or cheating just to win or just to get the good ending, I guess. It's better to have your honor than to be prideful.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think a lot of people, especially in today's day and age, could definitely, take to heart a little bit more.
Yeah. So, starting this episode off, what's going on, right? We ended it with Obi-Wan and Anakin switching out drinks with other pirates, just kind of because they're very skeptical, and rightfully so, because those pirates pass out. They literally, Hondo tried to Cosby them, and they diverted it. So what happens in this episode?
So starting out, it kind of gives us that introduction of Count Dooku is being held for ransom by Hondo, and as you already kind of gave the summary of the episode, that's said. But then we see that Hondo has also captured Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, see, that was my kind of question. Well, how did he do that?
So Anakin kind of makes the comment of, like, I only had one drink.
Yeah, I just
it's been stronger than we suspected. Something along those lines.
Yeah.
I assumed that they got drugged, and they actually got drugged later on in the quote-unquote banquet. But as it opens up, we see that Anakin and Obi-Wan are both they're basically handcuffs are like energy linked to Count Dooku. So all three of them are like linked together by these energy cuffs.
Yeah.
And again, we see more of that kind of back and forth insults between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku.
Yeah.
And at one point, I did have it written down that Anakin comments that he doesn't even want to hear Count Dooku speak. He doesn't even want to hear him.
Mm-hmm.
As Anakin and Obi-Wan are working on an escape plan. And they're just kind of like mulling over how they're gonna escape, and it cuts over to Hondo. And he's talking to one of his like underlings.
Yeah.
And the underling kind of makes something along the lines of like, well, why don't we just sell Count Dooku to the Separatists? And Hondo's just like, you idiot! If we sell him to the Separatists, they'll just kill us with the droid army. And then he also makes a comment. I can't remember if it's right here a little later on that they're gonna sell Count Dooku to the Republic, then they're gonna sell Anakin and Obi-Wan to the Separatists, double their profits.
Yeah. So, I want to point out here, this is my note, because I was so excited, and revisiting that excitement has now cured my bad mood. Hondo, dude, I'm listening to him, and I'm like, this dude sounds so familiar. Like, ridiculous. This voice is unique, and I love it. What is it? I've had this thought before. This is weird. Wait a minute. I swear he's a voice on Skyrim. Like, I swear that's where I heard it. The video game Skyrim,
yeah.
For any of you guys not aware of video game culture, Skyrim, right? The Elder Scrolls. I was like, I think he's a voice actor in that. So I looked it up. And, yeah, he was. He played like 30 characters. He played so many voices. And I'm looking and I'm like, holy cow, dude. He played, like, I don't even know half of them, but the ones that stick out are Alfred Battleborn, Vignar Greymane, and freaking Ulfr the Blind. I'm just like, dude, yeah, of course he voiced those. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I remember having this thought when talking to, in the game, Ulfr the Grey, Ulfr the Blind. Yeah, that one. I was like, I've had this thought before. This dude, his name's Jim Cummings, by the way. Amazing voice actor.
Absolutely
breathtaking. Do you know who he is?
I've heard of him. I know he's done a lot of. I knew he did a lot of the voices in Skyrim.
Yeah. No.
Like almost to the point where like he's changing his voice to like his multiple characters don't sound exactly like they don't sound the same.
Bro,
they don't have the same voice. Like he just. Yeah.
Yeah, but here is the thing. I am ridiculously in love with this dude. He is like my number 2 to Ewan McGregor at this point because, dude, he... No. But I'm like, I had this thought before while playing Skyrim. I think he was the narrator in Winnie the Pooh. He sounds like a character in Winnie the Pooh. I swear to it. So I looked it up, and this dude is Winnie the Pooh. He played.
He should have voices Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, he voices Winnie the Pooh and Tigger, by the way. So I look him up, and I'm like, I remember seeing a video. I looked it up on YouTube. There's a YouTube video on the channel, Great Big Story, and I'm gonna link that because it's awesome. But he's sitting there, and he's played multiple voices in Winnie the Pooh. He played Winnie. He played Tigger. He played the Tasmanian Devil. He played some of the cartoon Transformers. He played the snake in the Jungle Book 2, and it's just like he's so talented.
Really?
I freaking
I did
love
not
it.
Know all that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm like, what? But yeah, freaking Hondo is Winnie the Pooh.
Damn. I did not know that.
I got so excited because Winnie the Pooh was so Star Wars was the majority of my childhood, but slightly behind that was Winnie the Pooh, because when I was little, like before I understood Star Wars and stuff, before that it was like just this, every time like the new the clash of the two, okay, I'm gonna digress a little bit, move away. two major interests as a kid, right? Winnie the Pooh up until I don't know what age. Loved it. Then Star Wars for until now. And those two things, huge parts of my childhood, very tender moments when I'm thinking of them. It creates this joy in me remembering back then, right? Those two things clashed together in such a beautiful way because the recent movie called Christopher Robin was about Winnie the Pooh, right? Starred Ewan McGregor. It was lovely.
Yeah.
And I'm excited right now. And slightly tired, so I apologize. But yes, so back to I that was a large sidestep, but it was just I had to share it because I was freaking out. But anyway, yeah. So back to the episode, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Back to Star Wars now.
Yes, but dude, holy cow! That was wonderful. Jim Cummings, you are amazing, and it would just make my entire life if you even heard this episode.
So back to the episode. The Republic is sending the ransom.
Right.
But some rogue pirates in Hondo's crew, decide that they're just gonna shoot down the ship, steal the spice, and take off and try and get the spice under Hondo's nose. So this is where we're actually introduced to Senator Karras, like the three-eyed dude. So Jar Jar and Senator Karras are taking the ransom to the pirates, and the pilots of the ship inform them that they're getting ready to land. They're preparing their descent, basically. And so everybody in back is getting in their seats. Putting their safety harnesses on. And this is when the pirates attack and fire missiles. So, the pilots, take evasive maneuvers. And this is my notes right here. Jar Jar equals idiot.
Yeah.
He stumbles into the cockpit, or to below where the cockpit is.
Yeah,
brings one of the pirates down out of the cockpit because he's an idiot. Tries to fix his mistake, hits the button to send the pilot back up, goes up with the pilot, distracting the pilot. So I am 100% in belief that if Jar Jar was not there, that ship would not have been hit by those missiles.
Oh, it would not have been. He would have been, well, I mean, they would not have...
Those pilots would not have gotten distracted. They would have been able to do their evasive maneuvers. They would have been fine.
Right. Yep.
So, pilot goes back down with Jar Jar, basically kicks him out of the chair, goes back up. Jar Jar's trying to get into his seat, trying to get his harness to come down. It's not working. Senator Karras gets out of his seat to help Jar Jar because Jar Jar's a freaking idiot. The ship gets hit by the missiles, and we see that the senator is back in his seat now, and he goes to put his harness down, and it's broken. And the ship crashes.
Yeah. Yep.
As soon as it, basically right after we see it kind of slide to a halt, it jumps back over to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku.
Right.
And we see Count Dooku is using the Force to... He picks up a plate with food on it, and of course Anakin and Obi-Wan cannot resist. And basically make a comment along the lines of this is not really the time for food, Count Dooku. What are you doing, you idiot, more or less. But then we see Count Dooku actually is getting the knife from the plate and uses it to basically jimmy their cell door open.
Yeah. Yep.
And then it jumps right back over to the clones and Jar Jar, and this is where we see both of the pilots have died in the crash, which is a common trend throughout the Clone Wars TV show. Pilots just seem to die in crashes all the time.
Yeah. Yep.
And this is where we find out that the senator has died in the crash as well because Jar Jar's a freaking idiot. And so the pirates show up on their land speeders. They get the spice and they leave. Jar Jar and the remaining clones that are still alive have hidden at this point because they realize they can't take on all these pirates out in the open like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the pirates get the spice and they head on their way to their rendezvous point to get off of Florum to take the spice for their own.
Mm-hmm.
Jumping back over to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku. They're trying to sneak their way out and they run into pirates. They get recaptured.
Yeah, that's also kind of a trend recently. It's constantly getting captured.
That's true. No kidding. Jumps back to the clones and Jar Jar. They bury their dead. Jar Jar says a few words for the senator that has died. And one of the clones asks their commander, so now with Senator Karras dead, you're in charge of the mission now, right, sir? And you can hear the resentment and the utter shock of the situation, the disbelief in his voice. The commander goes, no. Command falls to the next highest ranking member, Representatives frickin' dumbass Binks.
Yeah, that's where my note comes off right after freaking out about Jim Cummings. I say Representative Binks is the highest ranking person with them. They are going to die.
They are screwed.
Yeah.
And at this point we see one of those geysers go off that they're next to, and it's actually shooting acid out of the geyser. Which comes into play a little later on in the episode. But it jumps back over to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku again. As I said while we were going over the last episode, a lot of jumping back and forth. We get to see Obi-Wan use that Force persuasion again. And he persuades the guard to open the door, let them out of their cell, and go get a drink and leave them alone. And then it jumps back over to the clones and Jar Jar. The pirates come back around. They see the clones there. Gotta back up for a second. The pirates get the spice because it fell out of the ship as it crashed. They have now reached the ship, searching for survivors.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad. So the Jar Jar kind of makes the comment, maybe these are the pirates to come, collect the spice, and maybe they're our friends. And the pirates start shooting at the clones. The clones return fire. We get a little bit of a firefight here.
Yeah.
But we definitely see the clones are at a disadvantage. They're out in the open, being circled by the pirates. Pirates are on speeder bikes. It's hard to hit them because they're moving, obviously. And this is when Jar Jar decides to lead the clones into one of the geysers that's shooting frickin' acid.
Yeah. Yeah. that right there is the absolute just best representation of our thoughts of Jar Jar as a character. Just that silence, and then yeah.
So pirates have the spice, clones are in the geyser. Jar Jar's still an idiot. And Jar Jar makes the comment after the pirates leave that he knew that it was safe in the geyser because wildlife was nearby.
Oh, but that's not how he. No, but
figure that out,
buddy. That's not how he worded it. The beasties.
I don't want to hear how. No,
I
stop it.
The
I don't want to hear how
dude.
that idiot. Stop! I'm gonna throw my computer.
Beasties, dude.
I'm going. Jacob, this is a $1,800 computer. I'm gonna throw it. Please stop. I don't want to hear the way he sounds. I hate him with a burning passion.
I thought you were the one preaching to me how I need to not hate him so much.
No, that was Gage.
Oh, okay. Oh, we can do that. We can do this together then. We can yell about Jar Jar.
I'm going to slit my wrists
Oh.
for length. That's how much I hate this guy.
Wow.
Anyways, the wildlife leaves.
Yeah.
The clones and Jar Jar climb out of the geyser as it's about to go off. And of course, Jar Jar, being a dumbass idiot, slips. And God, I wish the commander would just be like, "Oh no, I'm too slow to save him." But no, the commander had to frickin' save him.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh man.
This is one of my least favorite episodes in all of the Clone Wars for the sole fact that Jar Jar is a part of it. If you guys could not tell listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Back to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku.
Yeah.
They're sneaking around again trying to escape. More sarcastic talk happening because they all hate each other.
Yeah.
And of course it has to go back to freaking Jar Jar again! And at this point I just stopped writing Jar Jar, I just wrote clones because I can't stand him. So the clones are riding these beasts now, and somehow are catching up to the pirates. And the clones start shooting, and they kill some of the pirates. They get the spice back.
Yes.
Back over to Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Count Dooku.
Yep.
They are now running through this pirate base because the alarm has been activated.
Yep.
They make it outside.
Uh-huh.
They try to pole vault over the wall.
Yeah.
Does not work out.
Not really.
Anakin is now holding himself and the other two up with just his hands because they didn't make it. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea in the first place.
Man, yeah.
The pirates start shooting at them and hit one of the little energy beams connecting Obi-Wan and Count Dooku, breaking it. Obi-Wan grabs Count Dooku to save his life for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, Jedi don't believe in that, but some things should just be like, I mean, come on.
I just think they should be on the lines of like Batman Begins. For those of the audience that have seen it, at one point Batman's like, I'm not going to kill you, my old master that trained me, but I don't have to save you. I won't kill you, but I don't have to save your life.
Oh.
Why can't Obi-Wan just do that in this moment?
Because he's too nice of a dude.
Yeah.
Ow.
There's a reason I like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
Anakin can't hold on to the ledge anymore, or he says as much. Hondo shows up on the top of the ledge, basically, making the comment of, like, I guess we can't be friends. Hondo, you took them prisoner. Why would they be your friends?
I don't know, man.
There's a lot of stupidity that happens in this episode, if you guys could not tell.
Yeah, yep.
And the three of them get recaptured again. For like the third time in a matter of 20 minutes of episode.
Yeah.
So the clones, it jumps back over to the clones now. And they spot the power lines taking power over to the, the pirates' base.
Mm-hmm.
And they start following the power lines. But now it actually cuts over to where we see those rogue pirates that attacked clones in the first place. And they're lying to Hondo, saying that, the Republic sent an army and killed a lot of their guys. So Hondo tells them to take the hover tanks and go attack the clone army. Quote unquote clone army. And then it cuts, the pirates take Anakin and Obi-Wan, and leave Count Dooku in the cell. Then it cuts back over to the clones. And this was just brilliance. I have to say, this part right here was brilliance on the clone commander's part.
Uh-huh.
Because he convinces Jar Jar to go try to negotiate with the pirates. Effectively using him as bait. Yeah. And the only reason Jar Jar has survived after this point is because he is so clumsy. The only reason.
Yeah. I have a note on that. So, yeah. It says something like Jar Jar needs to negotiate. A clone says something, he's smarter than he looks, and I just wrote doubt. And then
doubt it.
Oh, that's a little bit so yeah, a little bit more happens before yeah, because Jar Jar's idiocy continues to work out for him, right? He's out there and just starts screwing up, and everything starts firing and blowing up.
There is no logical reason of how Jar Jar has survived this long.
No, there is not. And then one of the
and
pirates
it really bothers me.
One of the pirates yells something that is my favorite line in all of this history so far. He goes, "Kill him! He's no representative. He's a plague."
Facts.
Yeah. Pure truth. Pure truth.
So it jumps back over to Obi-Wan and Anakin being tortured by Hondo.
Yeah.
Hondo tells him what Hondo has been told by the rogue pirate, that the Republic has sent an army. And Anakin just starts insulting Hondo. Which, Anakin, you are held prisoner, held in place by some sort of frickin' prison floaty doodah thingy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You are in no position to throw insults. Anakin, just shut your mouth.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan says as much. Obi-Wan's like, Anakin, shut up. We are not in a position for you to be talking right now.
Yeah.
Just shut up. And so Hondo proceeds to torture them some more.
Yep.
And this is when Jar Jar starts bumbly, fumbly, floopity, floppity.
That's the real term for it.
That's the only logical way to describe it.
That's the real term for it. I watched the subtitles.
And somehow, so the pirates, quote unquote, take him hostage. And somehow Jar Jar goes fumbly, bumbly, floopity, floppity.
Exact words.
And knocks one tank into the other, into the power line, destroying one tank. How does Jar Jar take out a tank by himself? This is just asinine.
Sith Lord, dude.
Something. Holy crap. It cuts over to Count Dooku, who force choke kills the guard outside his cell.
Yeah.
Uses the force, uses the key to get out.
Right.
At this point, the power has been cut from the facility. Anakin and Obi-Wan are then released from their basically their torture devices.
Yeah.
And Anakin, force gets his lightsaber back from the stupid little rat thing, and takes Hondo prisoner, more or less. Effectively leaving the Jedi in a standoff against the pirates.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Back to, in my notes again, Jar Jar equals idiot.
Yeah.
Jar Jar has somehow now caused the tank to spin in circles. What? The third tank fires at the tank trying to kill Jar Jar, blows up the second tank. Jar Jar has now effectively destroyed 2 tanks all by himself. How?
Yeah.
The clones capture the last tank, taking the pirates that are still alive prisoner. I just want to point out here, Jar Jar has now effectively taken out 2 tanks and at least 4 pirates all by himself.
Yeah.
This should not be physically possible.
It should not be.
It then cuts back over to Count Dooku, who kills the last 2 rogue pirates. And I thought it was kind of a cool way that he killed them. He uses the Force to make the one pirate shoot the other.
Oh yeah.
And then killed the last remaining rogue pirate, which I thought was kind of a badass way of Count Dooku doing that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Really shows his dark side, honestly.
Yeah.
And it goes back to Anakin and Obi-Wan, backing out into the courtyard with Hondo still as their prisoner, and the tank shows up.
Yep.
And Hondo thinks, yeah, we've got them now.
Yeah, he's like.
But no, who has to pop out of the tank?
Oh, you know
the
who.
worst character in Star Wars history.
Yeah.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar.
And the clones pop out of the tank as well, but the clones are dope, badass. So.
Oh yeah, I mean they're
The only thing that got me through the whole Jar Jar scenes were the clone troopers. Honestly, that's the only way I got through the whole thing with Jar Jar.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
And Jar Jar, basically now, Hondo's like, oh crap, we're fucked. I have a tank now. And so, he tells his pirates to stand down. Anakin lets Hondo go. Obi-Wan has his lightsaber back at this point. I don't know how he got his lightsaber back.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But somehow he got his lightsaber back. I don't know how. And this is like right here at the end of the episode too.
Mm-hmm.
And it really, I guess, shows you the Jedi way. Because Hondo kind of like makes the inquiry of like, what? You're not gonna kill me. You're not gonna, attack us. You're not gonna do anything like that. And Obi-Wan makes a comment. You don't have Count Dooku anymore. You have nothing to offer us. We don't seek revenge. We don't seek payback.
Yeah.
But he warns Hondo.
Well, yeah, and I wrote down the exact quote because I really enjoyed like the last thing that he said, because it was, we have no quarrel with you and we seek no revenge. And then Hondo says like very honorable or something like that. Yeah. And then he says Count Dooku doesn't share our sense of honor and he knows where you live.
Yeah, basically telling Hondo, you better.
Yeah, he's like,
get the heck out of Dodge.
Watch out, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
You better make like grandma and yeet on out of here, cause.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. And after that comment that Obi-Wan gives Hondo, or that warning, the Jedi board the Twilight along with the clones and, God forbid, Jar Jar.
Oh, man.
Oh, I'm having PTSD just from saying his name.
Yeah, me too.
And, from there, it cuts black. It ends the episode with, the Jedi leaving Florum.
Yep. Yeah, and there's the end of the episode. They take off.
Yeah. So that has been a review over episodes 11 and 12 of Season 1 Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Yes, it has. And also, if you have not noticed, I would like to point out the transition that has taken place over this episode of this podcast. It started out, right? I am super angry. I had a bad evening. And like just a lot of things to where, so much so that we straight up almost canceled recording. Yeah. And then, so that energy, that side of things, right? I'm super frustrated. I get a root beer, I see an awesome cat, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm good now. And then all of that built up prior that I released, that anger that I released, Evan absorbed as soon as somebody said Jar Jar. And then he...
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Oh, boy. It's draining, isn't it, dude? Being angry at one thing.
I can't...
Yeah. So, anyway, though, do you have any closing comments? Earlier in the intro, you asked, or no, in between or somewhere around there, you asked about new Star Wars news. I have not seen any. You didn't have any, so I don't see us as you just texted me. One image. Oh,
Um,
Evie. Oh, I see her
um,
dirty litter box in the background, but she's so cute it drowns it out.
I guess I would just like to reiterate what we said in between episodes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this podcast is still very new. We would really appreciate any comments, reviews, any shares to your friends, anything
Certainly.
like that.
Yes.
So we can hit that 1,000 downloads and those 100 reviews. To give you guys those special, because we haven't done a live stream yet for this. I know Jacob personally, I would really enjoy to do a live stream. Get some questions as we're going along. And so this really all comes back to you guys leaving those reviews and spreading the word about this podcast.
Yes, and I want to say I take full blame on our inactivity recently, especially for you guys who have you've listened at least to an episode before, and just maybe honestly, if you're to the point where you're like, man, I'm looking forward to these guys coming out with another one. I don't think that we're that interesting. I very much enjoy it and I listen to everyone, but hey, if you're there, that'd be awesome. But if you are, I do apologize for the delay. I've been working a lot. I'm moving into an apartment and getting married in less than a month, and I'm just I don't know. It's just
a lot on your plate.
I'm busier, and it's hard to sit down at night and want to It's just because it's kind of a mental thing. I'm like, I really do kind of want to record, but it takes an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Sit back and relax.
And I would just rather relax, so I'm hoping that we can figure out a way to keep this coming out. But I do want to thank everybody who downloads and listens and is in the Facebook group and everything. But
everybody that's sticking with it so far.
Yes,
is appreciated.
Yes, and also thanks to Noah for the insight that he gave in our last filler episode, as well as who else was in that one? Troy, yeah, Troy. For him for being there. Thank you to you both.
And I am hoping we can get some more guests into some of these episodes. I know our buddy Charlie is really interested in coming in, and I'm sure Marcel would be happy to come back.
Oh yeah.
Troy, I'm sure would be happy to come back. He's really interested in Star Wars as well.
Yes, and here's and
with that,
oh yeah,
if you guys like having those special guests, kind of on some of the episodes, definitely let us know because we can do more of that.
Yeah, and if you want to see a guest that we've already had, after we have a good selection of them, because Jonathan wants to be part of it, it's we've got some ideas and people that want to come in. We can even I don't know, create a little poll, who do you want to see again, kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, here's my thing. So Marcel, right? Now that we've had both Troy and Marcel on here, I met Marcel through Troy. So they're pretty good friends. And what I think would be kind of cool is if we had both of them on at one time, at one point. Sometime down the line, we have both of them because their interaction is hilarious. I'm gonna make a quick note just to do a little teaser, but to exclude the most common phrase I heard Troy say to Marcel. Anyway, I'm gonna exclude that part because that's just kind of yeah. But anyway,
again, right as we wrap this up, comment, follow, send us some questions in those emails or even in the comment section. Give us some reviews. We greatly appreciate it. Jacob, do you have anything else?
All that I was gonna say is just hey, we are on a lot of platforms, right? There is no way that you cannot get in touch with us. We've got
email, Facebook, Twitter.
We've got Twitter,
Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Tune in, which I never check. Maybe we've got messages on there. I don't know. But either way, we got a Discord group, like, a server. Like you said, we've got a Facebook group. If you are seeing this on our, like, the YouTube channel, Rude, Crude, and Socially Unacceptable, it is on there. Comment section is right there. Plus, bunch of other videos of me and my friends playing video games. You can check that out, whatever. Evan is on there, and then now, Evan, you have your own YouTube channel that you're working at, titled Future Instinct, and they'll probably, hopefully, I mean, him and I will do some collaborative stuff. There'll be some funny moments, fun times, all that, but there is so much that you guys can go and check out. Also, last thing, Joanna Gaines, I was very hateful towards you in the beginning of this episode, and I just want to point out that I don't necessarily like your food, but I don't hate you. You're probably a wonderful person. I am sorry for being so negative.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far.
I'm being nice, Evan. Don't destroy it. Plus, I never claimed to be being honest. Anyway, let's just
with that, we'll talk to you. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep,
Peace
sounds
out.
good. I was being serious, by the way. All right, see you.
Deuces!